Hey friends, it's Music Exposed. Haven't you been missing Music Exposed? We took a whole week off and crazy things have happened. I don't even know what this episode is. But what I can tell you is that this is the final interview on Music Exposed of the year 2020. And I know you all miss it. It's been a great year. And oh my God, thank you so much, Code Warrior, for that gift of those rips. Oh my God, thank you.
And also for the bits.
No one asked you, Peanut Gallery. No one asked you, all right?
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to be a radio show host here. I'm trying to be very exciting. It's time for next week, the wrap up to 2020. You're going to hear all the greatest hits of 2020. It's going to be amazing. And I'm going to be there with my amazing co-host, Sarah Jazz. Oh, hi, Sarah Jazz.
Hi.
That was good of you to adjust that right before you got on camera.
Yeah, sorry.
How could you? How could you?
Sorry.
You already knew. You're like, you... She tries to pretend. Listen, she tries to pretend like it was an accident. We know it's not an accident. It's like every time I flip to your camera, you're just gonna be like, music. I'm exposing my bountiful music.
I'm exposing my music today.
Yes, that's what you're exposing for sure. How are you, Sarah?
I'm awake, I guess.
Yes, you were late.
How are you?
You are facing the wrong way again. Hooray! Let's do it. Oh, I have that ready. Actually,
no,
I do.
No.
I always have it ready.
No.
Yeah, I do.
No.
Yeah, here
No.
it is. Here it is. Oh no, I broke the scene.
Yes.
Hold on.
No, stop it.
We will
nobody
fix
needs
this.
That scene.
It can be resolved.
Nobody needs that scene.
I disagree.
No.
Everyone needs that scene.
Nobody
Everyone
needs
it.
Let's do it scene.
Listen, we all need it.
I hate ya.
Why do you hate me? Okay, I'm prepared with things, and I didn't realize that I was messing with stuff before. All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
Yes.
While you do that, you could just flip me.
No, I can't. Okay, I can't like that.
Oh.
Now
Wow.
that audio clip was really quality stuff. I agree. You can't fix perfection. Yours. How could you tell us what mindset you were in when you prepared that backstage area?
I'm hot girl on the internet.
Yes, is that what you are?
That's where I am. I got a drilling yesterday. I don't know if you probably missed my stream yesterday, and I got a hot drilling.
I've never watched your stream actually.
Boot camp.
I've never watched your stream.
And
I don't
basically,
know.
the boot camp just taught me how to be popular again, because I used to be popular just chatting streamer Sarah Jazz, and now I'm washed up granny, and now I'm hot girl on the internet again. Basically,
that's good. I suppose. I think I don't know. I don't know if it's good or not. I don't know anything. I only watch it live from the other room. I actually don't even like this show that much.
Oh.
I mean, I'm on it, but it's like I'm just kind of done with it. I'm just like I'm
same.
done exposing music.
Yeah,
like
I'm done. I'm done with music. You know, music is kind of lame.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
I think music. Listen, Chad, I have bad news for you, but I think that music is out in 2021.
Yeah, I think music is out. I think music is not trendy anymore.
Yeah.
Unless it's like for 6 seconds on TikTok or 15 seconds on TikTok.
6 seconds of music, totally in. I agree with that,
Yes.
but not more than
and
that.
only the best parts. You know what I mean?
The good news is if you're in a punk band like Northbound Matt, you can write 6-second songs and get into it. It's gonna work out well that way. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, story of my life. 6 seconds, get into it. You know.
Anyway, so what have you been? You've been deprived of music while you've been here, other than performing with me. Mm-hmm. What has that been like for you to not? Do you feel like your lips feel better and healthier in general because you're not playing?
I try to practice blowing at still regardless.
Yes.
I try really hard.
You try to blow.
Practice blowing.
Yeah.
Actually, I have an instrument for that. Come here, Ken.
I have. Why?
Here. This is the instrument.
This is beautiful.
This is the instrument.
Yeah, I'm very grateful that.
I can do Baker Street on this, and this is my stick. Now with growl. feel like it.
Yes, you're definitely exposing some music I've never heard
Yeah.
before, or I've never really wanted to hear. I'm not
Are we
gonna
getting
lie
a
about
DMCA
that.
strike now?
Yeah,
Because it was
yes,
so perfect.
definitely. Everyone thinks that you need a basket with a snake at your feet, and I kind of am inclined to agree. I'm not.
I
gonna
mean, I kind of
disagree.
have a snake in this.
What is it with these jokes today? What even is this? I don't understand. Why is this a thing that's
Because
happening
I'm
right
hot
now?
girl on the internet now.
I am hot girl on
I
the
am
internet.
hot girl on the internet now.
Why do I keep hitting the wrong scene? I don't know why there's a decapitated girl next to us, okay? I keep hitting the wrong scene. That's the reason, so shut up.
Yeah.
Okay? I move my buttons around and I mess with myself. So now I'm like, I don't even know. Plus, I'm doing it left-handed, and I'm not left-handed. My whole desk is, everything is out of order. Everything is discombobulated because I let Sarah Jazz stream here, and now everything is all screwed up, and I don't know what to do with my life or myself or anything.
I'm sorry.
You're not sorry. I'm sorry, Daddy.
I'm sorry, Daddy?
Yes.
If you don't know what we're referencing, you should go watch the VOD of yesterday when Ken comes in and he basically just gives me how to be an e-girl in 2021 boot camp / drilling, and it goes on for like an hour.
I gave you
and
a
it's
drilling
beautiful.
on stream, huh?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You gave me such a good drilling.
That's right.
So good.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, he did that, and it was really fun. I mean, I did it. At the end, I was actually able to be 2021 e-girl who doesn't have emotions and is just,
I think this is important because if emotions are out in 2021, music is also, if music's out, then emotions are definitely out too.
Oh yeah,
no
for sure.
emotions. We're all going to be robots in 2021.
I
That's
am
what's
already
gonna
a
happen.
robot.
Yeah, you're getting there, which is the good thing. What's up, Seiko? How are you?
Hi
I'm just
everybody,
saying.
by the way. How are you doing?
I hate that it's a mess studio, Code Warrior. Listen, I'm very particular, and even Sarah tells you I'm very particular about the way things are. I did organize some things today, but there's some things I forgot because the last time we did Music Exposed, I had zero prep for it. So I didn't have time to flip the cameras. I didn't have time to do anything. And today you were running late, so I was in here trying to get stuff set up.
I was running late. Yeah, because I made breakfast.
That is the reason.
I was late.
That's
because I made
definitely the
breakfast.
reason that you were late because
Yes.
you made breakfast.
Yes, I made breakfast for both of us. I cook breakfast in the morning, almost every day. Unless I run out of time or I have to stream very early, or unless we go to breakfast. But most of the time I cook breakfast like a good housewife that I am. Like a good e-girl. Listen,
that's
on
you.
TikTok, we learned from TikTok that even if you have a horrible husband, that you just make him those meals in the kitchen because
I love
that's
that.
where women belong.
My husband came home. My grandmother gave me some advice, and she told me that my husband punched a hole in the wall, and you know. Oh
And
my
I'm
God.
making, just to make his day better, I'm
making him a sandwich just to make his day better.
I put a little ham in it and a little...
Northbound Matt, Sarah does not have skills at the Flavor Wave yet. I had to teach her to use it once. She did use it. You know what she used it for? She used it for the worst usage in the world, and I used it. She used it to reheat leftover Jack in the Box.
Yes.
That's what she did. That's what she did with it. It is good. I will say it is far better than a microwave for reheating.
That is what it's for.
That is not what it's for. It's
Yes,
for
it
many
is.
other things other than
No,
that.
I don't
but-
know what you're talking about, but that is 100,000% what it's for.
Yeah, just look at your phone. That's cool. We don't care if you're on Music Exposed
Yeah,
or
I'm
not.
just pulling
You're just
up
like,
the chat because I can't see the chat. So
why?
the chat.
What do you
I can't
want me
see
to
it.
do?
Like,
Do you want me to make it
it's all
bigger
fine.
for you? Is that
no,
what
it's
you
all
want?
fine. It's fine. I have the chat now on my phone.
I
The
don't
chat is on my phone.
Why?
Also,
Why?
we learned that you two are in the same house and still doing this is comical. That was my hand.
Yeah, that was definitely her hand. We're actually not in the same house anymore. Our whole relationship.
this
Your
is-
hands are all sweaty. You're.
This is red because of my lipstick. You know, I'm going to teach you, chat. I'm going to teach you a little lesson about makeup.
Oh,
so
great.
this is why it's red. So when you put on lipstick, right? You put on lipstick, and you don't want the lipstick to go on your teeth, obviously, because you don't want to look like you are a vampire, because you don't want people
Why
to
not?
know that
I
you
like,
are a vampire.
I like vampires. Why
So-
can't you look like a vampire? What's wrong
No,
with that
you
idea?
can't let people know that vampires exist and that you are a vampire, and you don't want to go to jail or die, or you don't want any of that. Anyways, so you put on lipstick, and it goes into the rim of your lips right here, right?
Rim, rim, rim.
And what you do to prevent the lipstick to, get on your teeth, you do this. You're like, or this. Legit, it's a thing. That's why this is red, because I got rid of my
I
lipstick.
doubt.
that could
I
be
don't know. I don't know that I
potentially-
feel that this is. I don't know. I'm not sure about
What
this.
do you mean? It's true, though.
Yeah. You just like.
No, I don't fuck the finger.
I'm just saying.
Do we have background music, by the way?
No, not right now.
Why
I'll
not?
turn it on in a second because I forgot. That's why.
Oh,
so
great.
shut up.
Yeah.
Do we have background music because
We have
it's
background
annoying.
music.
It's annoying.
Yeah. So, CMillerMusic is our guest today.
That was a great transition. That might be the best segue in the history of Music Exposed. You're like, stick your finger in your mouth, kids. You won't get lipstick.
Don't fuck your finger.
But actually, C. Miller is our guest today. We're very glad to have him here. It's going to be amazing.
He is a handsome man. Have you seen his beard? His beard is glorious.
Does CMillerMusic fuck his fingers? I don't know. We can ask him when he's here.
I don't know. We could ask him, yeah.
I don't know. Does he have that type of humor? Will C. Miller laugh at humor
Maybe.
like that?
I don't know. He's kind of PG.
Yes, the Steve Miller
but
Band
we
is
never
our
know.
guest
This
today.
is the thing about our show. People who are PG will be PG on their channel, obviously, but they will also be very inappropriate on this channel because they can. And most of the time, those people are really, really inappropriate in chat sometimes, especially when they know they can be, and it's like part of the humor. I have had interactions with some very
mouth
PG.
interactions?
No, not mouth interactions because COVID.
saying. Okay.
Otherwise, obviously, because that's what I do. I just do mouth interactions with everybody.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. That's good news. Sign up for that, for the videos of that on Only Farmers.
Onlyfarmers.com/The Silence Noise.
Yes, that's true. They're there. I still don't have a subscriber to it yet. It's very
because
unfortunate.
you're always. I think people don't know that you're actually serious.
Do not blame chat. I agree. Blame me for everything.
Yeah.
Blame C. Miller for everything.
Yeah.
I agree. Yes, Pantera is the guest today, along with the Steve Miller Band.
Find out here if Chris Miller fucks his fingers. Yes, that is a thing that I think C. Miller needs on his resume.
Yes.
In his portfolio.
Finger fucker.
No, like
CMillerMusic, finger fucker.
CMillerMusic, aka the finger fucker.
Yes, I'm sure that he'd be very appreciative of that.
I think so.
I'm sure.
Don't disregard all the awards that he gets for his songwriting.
Wow.
All those things.
We're making such a good impression right now.
Disregard him being amazing on stream and being part of awesome festival, Twitch festivals and front page things, and just being an amazing musician in general outside of Twitch too, obviously.
Yes.
Just disregard all of that shit and just refer to him as
the finger fucker. That is a
fucker.
band name right there. I don't know.
Is.
I don't know that we should. We have bad history when we insult our guests that are coming on the show.
We have.
Sarah.
Why did they try to cancel us?
Oh yes, we're already canceled. That's what happened to the ratings for the show. It's the show used to perform well, and now it's just like you've insulted enough people by hitting them up in DMs after the show, and you're like, "Hi, can I interest you in some mouth interactions? Do you follow me on Instagram and TikTok? Can you please make sure that you do?" Like it just worked out weird, for the people that had to deal with it. I don't know. It worked for me because I have very low standards.
Yeah.
So for me, when you sent me those messages after I appeared on your stream the first time, I was like, oh, I can get down with this. I'm good with this. I didn't realize
you also
though.
live in a dumpster.
I also,
Yeah. He lives in a dumpster.
But why is that? What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Why is that a problem?
Yeah.
I'm just.
This
is my house. It's not just any dumpster. This is my home. Okay.
Yes.
It's very important that I take care of it. And now that you've been here, you realize how beautiful it is as a studio. Okay. I'm just saying.
I like it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, I fit. Although I'm a
get it in.
I'm a tall whammon.
Yes.
I fit.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you do.
It's cozy,
I mean, I'm tall too, so I fit as well. You know, it happens.
We both
it works.
fit. We're both good fitters.
Yes, that's
anyway,
what we are.
CMillerMusic.
Yes. Anyway, CMillerMusic is not a finger fucker. He's actually a musician. All that stuff.
That's why this show is called Music Exposed and not Finger Fucker Exposed.
Why? Why is it called that?
Imagine we would be, finger fuckers. Actually, we could get so many more people on if it was called Finger Fuckers Exposed.
I agree. The quality of guest would go up exponentially if the show was called Finger Fuckers Exposed. I agree with you. Maybe we should just try that in the new year. Just be like, we used to be about music, and we're still going to only interview people in the music category, but we're only going to interview you if you fuck with your fingers.
Yes.
Yes. I think that's important.
I mean, everybody does some finger fucking sometimes, especially if you're trying to
Everybody
get...
finger fuck
especially,
sometimes.
Chat, you know what I mean. Especially when you have those very, very annoying moments where you're eating popcorn and then one of the shells like is stuck in your teeth and you're like trying to get it out, or like when you eat like some really, really horrible steak and like it's like, you know, it's like frizzly or whatever I don't know what it's called. Anyways, but you're
Northbound Matt says Discovery would be interesting on finger fuckers. Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
So everybody has fucked their fingers a few times. You have
mouth interactions with your fingers.
Mouth interactions are a thing for everybody.
Yeah,
don't lie. Do not pretend you're not a finger fucker. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
That is today's music advice. If you're an aspiring songwriter and musician, don't forget that everybody fucks their fingers. It's just that's true.
That should be.
It's helpful.
That should be clip.
It's helpful.
What have I gotten myself into? I know. Right?
It's helpful songwriting advice. That's all we provide here. That's why we're bringing on an award-winning songwriter, and we're just talking about this shit for the first half.
No, I actually have an interesting, or better. I want to ask this. I want to ask Chris at some point. Because I have played with award-winning musicians in general, and like gigs.
You know, we could do this in a different way because something I've noticed, if you want to do this, we can just throw the format out the window because CMiller's here already. He's actually already hanging out with us.
Oh.
He's on early.
But he's drinking coffee though.
He's drinking coffee, which is fine.
He's having his coffee.
Okay, he can have his coffee. I'm just saying, I know. Let him have his morning coffee. Okay, I'm just saying. He's here. We can ask him these important questions.
Yeah, but I just wanna know if he also, just like all the other musicians that I play with, you know, on stage normally, not anymore because COVID fucked us all.
There is a format to the show, Tammy. Don't act like there's not. We know, you know.
There's a format.
You've watched this show. There's a format.
Oh my God, I can't. You guys know.
Yeah, everyone's like, no one that's in this chat ever even watches the show.
No.
They're just literally staring at the bobs the whole time, and they're just like...
And I don't have bobs today. That's probably why nobody's watching right now.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I'm sorry about that.
I really apologize. But what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, so award-winning musicians, I normally pay those more because they're more expensive.
Why?
It's very interesting. Because
do they like bring their statues?
More.
Do they bring their statues with them?
They bring their Oscars. They bring their Oscars. I played with a drummer.
Yes.
He was an award-winning musician because he's very good at drumming with EDM and stuff. So he basically does like a little bit of DJ / like what people do on Twitch basically, but in real life. But in real life, very good, amazing drummer by the way.
Whoops, hi. Hit the wrong camera button.
Well, now we can say hi
No,
to
we
him.
can't. No, we can't. No, we can't. We're done. He's drinking his coffee, okay? He's drinking his coffee. Leave him alone.
Amazing.
Leave Miller alone.
He was more expensive than the rest because, you know, he has awards, you know, and I just want to know because
you want to. So really, the question that you've been begging. This is the reason you wanted CMiller on the show is so that you could ask him the question, how much? That's what you want CMiller here for.
Yeah.
You're like CMiller.
How much?
That's very professional. I agree.
It is.
Sometimes
what are you talking about? That's
listen.
Like,
Sometimes I yell that out of car windows at women that I'm driving past.
How much?
How much?
How much, baby? And I do the same, but only when I see that they're carrying a musical instrument like suitcase.
Yes.
So like normally, you know those people that just are running around with like a cello or a saxophone case or a guitar case.
I see him all the time. I'm just driving down the street and there's a dude with the cello case. And I'm like, how much?
That's the thing in Europe, actually. Because I think in America that's all very common because you guys don't walk for some reason. You drive everywhere.
It's because we don't like musicians.
We just every time I see like a musician, like a suit with a case on their back, I'm like, how much, baby?
Yes.
I bet you're super expensive.
Yeah, I agree with Bazzy's thing. Shout out the window to see their awards. Like, hey, baby, show me your awards. I bet you've got some rewards looking like that. You know, it's like, I feel like that would, yeah.
Oof, I would love to play with you.
Yeah, that's right. Why don't we might even be able to organize a little trio later. It'll be really good. Oh, yeah. That's, yeah. This is really good
You want to
music.
play some hard rock?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got some complex jazz you can play. It has a lot of notes. And
A lot
the
of
transitions will surprise the shit out of you. You'll
You
never
will
see
be
those
like,
transitions
what the
coming.
hell is this? I thought Giant Steps was difficult.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, it might be difficult, I understand, but
Yeah.
with you everything's easy. That's just how it works. I'm just,
That's true. With me, actually, everything is easy.
How much?
How much, baby?
I'm sorry, baby, it was excellent.
Awards.
That's right. How come you haven't won any music awards? What have you been nominated for an award before?
No, because I never I don't partake in those things.
You're like, I will never be awarded for the things I do.
I never partake. Like, there's a lot of musicians who just partake in like contests.
Hey, Codeware, thanks so much for that gift sub to C. Miller.
How many got
Live in C. Miller's reaction. Anyway. Yes. That was his live reaction.
This is why he's our last guest of the year. Because
Probably our last guest of all time.
Such
Yes.
trolls, dude. It's horrible. We're horrible.
I wasn't expecting him to be here this early. I appreciate that he's here this early.
I
though. I'm
appreciate
just
that
saying.
too. He's the earliest of them all.
He's a
some
trooper.
some people have been so late. It's
Yes.
actually annoying.
That is true. We have a lot of people who are right up to the last minute.
And the very funny part is I was late for everything with him because I could not figure out the time zones because he's in Australia. He's our first Australian guest, I think, isn't he?
Yes, we've had a lot of guests from Europe, but not any
Yeah.
guests from Australia
Yeah.
yet.
We had them from
Sarah, I love Bazzy Sarah complaining about people being late. True that.
Listen, shut up, Bazzy, okay? How about that? How about you shut up?
That was
your
a very
face.
mature response. I'm
That
glad
is
that
a
you
very
could have such
mature TV show response. We are trying to.
Hey audience, shut the fuck up. We're so glad that you could be here today, but keep your fucking mouth shut because we're gonna entertain you and we don't want your stupid feedback. Thanks for that. We appreciate you here on Music Exposed.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
it's true.
agree.
It's
I
true.
like that very much.
Yes,
I
yes.
love that.
So this has been Finger Fuckers with Sarah and Silence. It's true, okay?
Yeah.
It's true. It's a you want that to be the
It's a
opening
beautiful
going
thing.
forward?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're
Welcome.
asking you to kindly shut the fuck up before we begin this episode of Finger Fuckers with Sarah and the Silence Noise. Wait, you don't like my announcer voice?
No. But yeah,
feel
so
like it's good. It's like,
award-winning
Finger
awards.
Fuckers with Sarah and the Silence Noise.
Finger fuckers.
Finger Fucker.
Finger fuckers. You're not. Wow, this is.
I'm just doing it on purpose to
I
you.
know, it's terrible.
I'm giving myself. Listen, I'm the host.
You're the host.
So I get the reverb. Yes.
I know.
Clearly, I'm far more experienced at finger fucking than you are. That's a thing. I'm just.
You eat more steaks.
I've written a lot more
and
songs.
popcorn than
no,
me?
I've written a lot more songs. That I've published. You've probably written more songs than me in general, but I've published more songs.
Yes, that is right. How many? Yes, very true.
How many? Okay, so we're gonna get into this. How many? Okay, because we've done the how big.
Yeah.
How big is your Steam library? How many songs do you think you've written?
I don't know. I've
many
written.
songs do you
I've
think you've
written. I've written. Quite
How many
a lot.
songs do you think you written?
I don't think I've written as much as you.
Okay.
Yeah, but I haven't published as much as you because in the jazz world is quite.
Meanwhile, on Swinging Dick Cam.
I can't. What if he's getting ready and has his titties out?
Yeah,
Or
that
what
could be something
what
that
if he's-
happens, you know?
What if he's picking his nose or something? Stop that. You're such a troll. I can't with you.
I did it once, so now I just have to make it happen.
Yeah.
Although I do notice that for whatever reason we're still getting that choppy thing. We might have to switch. We'll see how it works.
Yeah.
I don't
Zoom
know-
or something, you mean?
To what?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, we might have to do that. We'll
yeah.
see.
Because it's laggy for some reason with
Yeah, it might be. Australia is known for its beautiful internet. It's a thing with Australia. They always have the greatest
Is that
internet in the world.
xenophobic though? Because
Xenophobic. First of all,
Xenophobic.
is the word xenophobic the word you're looking for?
Yes,
is it
thank you.
genophobic? Hi. Is that xenophobic?
I said
Is that xenophobic towards?
Xenophobic?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm wondering because the thing I use for interviews typically is a direct connection.
Yeah.
So that could be what's causing it. We'll see how it plays out, but yes. I'll set up a backup in a minute if I need to.
Okay, cool.
If I need to. Silence.
But,
it's called Internet-a-roo.
Yes. But so musicians
Ignorant. I ignorant as fuck.
There are some musicians that are more expensive, you know? It is
I'm a very cheap musician.
Are you? So how much would you this is very
How much? How
much, baby?
You know.
How much would you
Depends on what you need to get out of the gig, ladies. How much do you need? Do you need just a quick couple of songs? Do I have to learn a lot of your standards and your routines?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do I have to? Is there some improvisation required? Do I have to drop some improvisation?
I actually have a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider being a session musician?
No.
Why not?
I'm not good enough to be a session musician.
Okay, but what if you were good enough?
Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't I?
Okay.
Why wouldn't you do that?
You're not a big fan of like covers and stuff.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
It's not that I'm not a big fan of covers. It's just not what gives me my musical jizz, okay? I'm just that's
Your
the important
musical
term.
jizz?
The musical jizz. No, it's just not it's not why I started ever playing instruments. Like most people's trajectory into music, and mine was similar but different in some ways. Most people's trajectory into music is, they hear a lot of songs they like, their parents or somebody else gets them an instrument, sits them down at the instrument, and they start trying to figure things out by playing other people's songs and doing that kind of thing. And then that might lead to lessons, or they might take a band or a choir class in school or whatever, and that kind of gets them into that. For me, that is not how music worked at all. I actually grew up in a family of professional musicians. I've talked about this a lot on the show. And they were music teachers, and they were very, very stern and strict music teachers that were very particular. They worked at schools, like they were very old school music teachers.
Classical teachers.
Classical music teachers. And when I tried to learn from them, it was not. I just found myself wanting to compose my own things. Like I would get bored playing other people's things. Like I would practice a lot, and I was someone that I was willing to do the work and willing to do the practice and put in the work to do that kind of thing. But it was always just more interesting to me to try to write my own arrangements, or I'd have melodies in my head all the time, and I'd be trying to get them out. And then finally, when I was in high school, I played drums for this really awful punk band. I think everybody has that phase except for jazz musicians, where if you are an instrument, if you play any instruments and you're in high school, at some point you're going to end up in a shitty punk band. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
So I was a drummer for a shitty punk band, and I played it, and it was called Paparazzi. And the guy that played it, the guy that wrote all the songs and did all that stuff, was actually an amazing musician. He'd been playing for many years and all that stuff. He's an amazing musician, and I was the drummer for it. And one day I came to band practice, and they had kicked me out of the band because they found another drummer who owned a double bass pedal. And so they were like, all right, well, but the way they did it was even more frustrating, because they didn't just kick me out of the band. They're like, we're not actually going to kick you out of the band. We're going to find something else for you to do. So the first practice that they had with the new drummer, I was just there. And I was just doing nothing while I was playing in that. And so my grandmother, I grew up with at my grandmother's house, she had a big black grand piano in the living room, and I had dinked around on it for years and years. And so I was sitting there, and I just started, they were playing piano stuff, and I just started, messing around with the piano because I didn't have shit else to do. Well, because I knew all the songs on drums, and I was watching this new drummer, who was actually not very good, struggle on the drums, but he had a double bass pedal, so, double bass pedals are cool. And so eventually they ended up throwing him out, and I went back to drums in that project.
Oh, my God.
But the thing is that I had picked up kind of being interested in playing the piano again, and my attitude after that happened was like, fuck this, I'm gonna write my own songs. Like, I'm gonna have my own shitty punk band.
You're not gonna play for Elise anymore?
Yeah, I'm not gonna be Paparazzi anymore. Listen, guys, this is how punk we were. High school punk. The band was called Paparazzi, and we had a song called Die Princess Die. Like, that's punk as hell, guys.
It is.
That is high school punk as hell. I'm just saying. So yes. I started writing. At that point, my grandmother decided that she was going to sell her big grand piano, and she bought like a Yamaha electronic keyboard that actually had a sequencer built into it.
Yeah.
Now, the way that you had to do this, if anybody figured out, if I explain to people, and someday maybe I'll try to show it, my brother still owns my first keyboard that I actually owned. Not the Yamaha, but the first one I actually owned. But they had a sequencer in it, but the way that the sequencer worked is that you basically, all those Casio Yamaha type keyboards came with demo songs in them. Like dun, 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 you know. So the only way that you could use the sequencer was to record over those songs. So you would go into that, and in each one of those songs, you were restricted to how much you could record in each area. So you could have like a 2-measure intro. You could have a 16-bar verse, a 16-bar chorus, a 1-bar break, a 1-bar ending. That was the only way you had to do it, and you had to do it all manually. So that was how I wrote all my first songs, was on sequencers like that. So I'd override like, oh, this has a Billy Joel demo in it. Let's just record over that. If anything happened, like power surge, anything happened, all the work that I had done was lost.
Oh, that's great.
So my first 2 albums that I recorded in 2001, or in 2001, both were recorded that way.
Nice.
So when I was recording the songs, if I wanted to record a new song, I had to delete those songs.
Oh no!
So
that's
that was how it worked when I was originally recording. So I don't even remember why I told the story, but I was getting on a tangent of how many songs do I think I've written?
No, I was asking if you would be a
session musician. But I just was always interested in original music over anything else. And when I started Twitch, I wasn't even aware of there being a Twitch music community or any type of thing on Twitch. I just got a random email that said, hey, did you know there's a music category on Twitch? And I went and watched it, and I watched an original composer who I actually had on this morning that I was watching. And that's how I got into Twitch.
Yeah.
So I found out about the busking and the cover songs and stuff later, and I didn't play my first cover song on stream until a year in. Actually, it was a little over a year of streaming that I did the Depeche Mode tribute stream, and that was the first covers that I ever did on stream. So I just prefer original music, but I do commissions. For example, Elite has talked about the idea of me doing commissions, of doing a commission song for him. I've done commission songs for other people, like Twitch Finds, and I have this Disney thing that I'm working on that I haven't finished yet that I need to... Nerdy Singer Kate has been waiting very patiently on me to finish that, and I've had no time to do it, so...
Yeah, because you have been distracted, I'm sorry.
And that thing has been floating around forever. That was commissioned originally for Manchild Show.
Oh, yeah.
So I was working on it for that, and it was kind of a Disney song. Yes, distracted. By the finger fucking.
By the finger fucking. I had to get out some popcorn shells.
Finger fucking Cam.
I can't. Oh my god! I think it's a shame that Chris is the last guest of 2020 because you're the worst. You're the worst.
I'm just saying he did have the perfect face for it too.
Yeah,
He's gonna leave. We'll just play his songs and then we'll interview. I'll pretend to be CMillerMusic. I'll be like, "Oi, Australia, oi, Foster's, yes."
No, stop it. We're going to get canceled. He's trying to get us canceled today for some reason. He's like, I don't want to do Music Exposed anymore. So I'm being very, very offensive and terrible and a horrible person. So people are like, I don't like Music Exposed anymore. It's not what it used to be anymore. It's not like it was in March 2020 when Matt Gaddy was the first guest.
Does anybody even remember that Matt Gaddy was on the show? Hey, Music Exposed historians.
Okay, I actually want to know, but these are the things that we're going to ask in next week. But start thinking about who your favorite guests were so far, actually.
Yes.
Because we had, what is this episode? Is 25th?
Oh, God. No, we're further than that. I'll have to go look.
Something
Hold
like
on.
that?
I'm going to look right
30th?
now.
I'm
going to look, okay?
You've changed, Name dropping is sad. Is bad.
True. It's true.
I mean,
this is episode 28.
28, yeah, that's what I was saying, yeah. So this is episode 28, and...
I had to verify that information, okay?
I have been enjoying Music Exposed. Like, it's I have been learning a lot about people.
Is it because of all the finger fucking?
No, actually, to be very honest with you and going into a serious topic, it's very interesting...
Cereal, bro!
It's very interesting to me that there's so many people, musicians, and on Twitch too, just musicians who are on Twitch, having so many problems with drug abuse and emotional
just gonna spill
What are
bubbles
you
everywhere.
doing?
Nothing. Continue.
Why? I'm trying to talk about serious things here, and
Talk
he's
about serious
fingering
things.
a bubble bottle.
Bubble bottle. Bubble
He's
bottle.
fingering a bubble bottle. Yeah. What are you doing?
This
Why
got
are you
stuck
doing
in
this?
here like
I
you
know.
said it would.
I told you not to take it out.
I'm good now. Okay, I got
my
it.
God,
Continue. Go ahead. Continue your
No,
serious story.
I'm not continuing my drug abuse story while you're blowing fucking bubbles.
These are from the dollar store, chat. Of course
And
they
you
are.
put it back in again.
I did.
I can't with you.
What?
I can't with you.
You're the one that has dollar store fucking garbage all over my desk.
Interesting
Okay.
that there's so many musicians that struggle with emotional problems in general, which sometimes leads to either turning to music and or drug abuse, which I really appreciated.
Or
A
music
lot of-
inspired by drug abuse.
That's also a thing, you know, cocaine, right?
That was a really good cover.
Yeah.
You should cover that song.
You
It was
think
so
so?
accurate.
Cocaine.
I thought Eric Clapton was here. It was so accurate. Okay.
I think so
I'm
too.
just saying. It
So
just was.
yeah, I think we had a lot of interesting stories, or people people who were homeless. Yes, people who were homeless and just got back on
She's
their
like,
feet.
she legitimately remembers none of the interview. She's like, I think we had some homeless people on the show and some people that were doing drugs. Like, I think that's who was on this show before. I don't really remember.
That's probably because I'm also a musician and I'm just fucked up all the time, you know.
Could be that.
That could be it.
You know,
I mean,
that could
a
be
lot
that.
of people think that I'm on drugs all the time on stream anyways.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Probably
same for you.
accurate. Yeah, I definitely think that. I don't know why you always take so long in the bathroom. So I
Yeah.
figured that either you have digestive problems or you're doing drugs. So it's one or the other. I don't know.
No,
which
I'm
it is.
totally snorting Coca-Cola from the brim of the toilet. You
Yeah,
know?
from this bubble. This is actually got drugs in it.
That's laudanum.
Or she's a finger fucker.
Yeah,
that is
I'm
also
a-
possible.
I mean, who knows? Legs.
That is potentially
no
true.
I mean, I do have legs. What are you talking about? They're legs.
She
right
really,
here.
yeah. Look at how muscular her legs are. Like, her legs are very muscular.
We also had gangsters. We also had people that threatened others with guns if they don't pay their gig money. You know.
That's true.
There's so many interesting people, especially in the music or artistic world or creative world, and I love hearing all those stories. That's why we started. That's not why we started Music Exposed, but it's a nice side effect that people are interesting. You know.
Yeah.
You didn't have like a I'm too fucked up to play story?
I didn't musically. I have in my life had that happen.
Oh, really? Please tell us.
I used to be in an improv comedy troupe back towards the end of high school and the year after I graduated. And so it was me and a group of friends that did shows at a couple of different local venues, little local coffee houses and that kind of thing. And I was really interested in this girl. And so one day after school, I go over to this girl's house, and of course she was cool and I was not cool. So they were all drinking. They're like, "Oh, you can drink," and I'm like, "I have a show tonight, but I'm gonna be able to do it. I'm gonna be able to take it." And so
he gets all. It's just for reference. He already gets tipsy with one normal beer. Like he gets tipsy
That is
with.
not true.
It is true.
That is not
Yeah,
true.
you get a little. It is noticeable that you have that one beer has
She's
an
so
effect on you.
full of it.
It's true.
No,
One beer
it's that
has an effect on you.
Sarah's a mom, and she wants to make sure. She's like, "Oh my God, you're drinking now. I have to take care of you." And I'm like, "No, I'm fine." She's
No,
like, "No, you're clearly
you are
not."
fine with one beer, but you already have one beer already has an effect.
Wine
on
is
you.
horrible for me because it gives me a horrible headache.
Yeah, but
So-
just so you know, he's very lightweighted.
Yes, I am lightweight. So anyway, I did that, and I was typically the host of the show when we would go, kind of like I am, doing with this, where I would introduce the games, I would ask for the suggestions from the audience, I would do all of that stuff. And so that night, by the time I got to the place, I was too drunk to perform, and apparently they just ended up using me as a prop all night. I tried for the first game or two.
A prop?
Yeah, it was just a prop all night. So my other friend in the troupe basically ended up hosting the show, and I was just a prop that night, and it worked very well. I'm sure.
That's good though. So you didn't have embarrassment.
I don't even remember it. I actually black out.
wow.
I'm a blackout person, so I don't.
can't.
If I drink a lot, I don't even remember.
That's awesome.
So, yes, I did have an improv performance that was like that. Someday, perhaps, we will have Baron Von Arth on my stream or someone to talk about that story. Nevermuse would be able to talk about that story as well. Because he was also in that thing,
I have had some of those moments where I was...
You were too drunk for a gig?
I have been too drunk to remember what the fuck I'm doing on stage. But very, very... I'm gonna say very rarely, but it happened it happened a handful of times.
Yeah.
Where it was either too drunk or too high or too everything.
Yeah.
Where I would play the gig anyways, regardless, because that was my full-time job, and you have to do it, and people pay you.
Let's do it.
But I can't. Just stop it. Just don't. Just please.
This was footage from that gig.
I can't.
This is backstage where she was drinking. She was drinking backstage in that area. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Chat just talked about it. I had to.
I can't. You are horrible. Horrible. Anyways, I had many moments where the whole band was too drunk.
Yes.
Or too high.
Okay. I always wish that gigs like that were recorded of a band all being too drunk, because it's got to sound super horrible.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't sound horrible because everybody's we're routine animals, and everybody is professional.
Yeah.
Are professional musicians for years and years and years. So it's like in you, like you cannot sound terrible.
It's like a finger that's in you.
It's like a finger fuck.
It's like a finger that's in you.
Yeah, it's like a finger that's in you. But goof, I can't.
Yes.
But it's sometimes it's interesting because you will be playing and you will look over to the pianist and he's like doing whatever and you're like, what is happening? Or sometimes I had the experience where I'm like trying to play. I was the second front man. I wasn't the band leader, but a second front man, front woman, basically the front woman, basically.
Yeah, she was a man at that time. Thanks, Cat Jones. Thanks so much for that follow. I appreciate it.
And I would just play the theme completely sloppily with the front man. Yeah, with the front man. Both of us super sloppy. So it kind of worked out. Yes. And I remember in the middle of the song, this was after having some drinks with audience, because audience was like, oh, let me, give you some drinks and buy you some drinks, special. And you want to do that as a musician because that's good for the venuer, and that's good for the bar.
Good for the venuer.
Yeah, for the venuer, the person that does the venue,
Yes.
Yes. You know what I mean? The organizer or whatever, or the bar or the festival or whatever you're at. So you want people to buy you drinks if they are up for it.
Yes.
So they book you, so the people or the place books you again. They're like, oh,
of course.
these people are good for business,
Right.
So we did that, and then that was the third set, and we go up on stage, we're fine, and then we start playing the melody, and it's all fucked up. Yeah. And I remember, and I remember leaning over to my band leader, being like, "Are you feeling this too?" And he's like, yes, this is terrible.
Yes.
So yeah, you can imagine the solos were a little bit sloppy. The themes were a little bit sloppy, but we made it through. People loved it. Nobody notices. This is the thing. You're never if you're actually stumbling on stage, you don't want to Tom Waits the whole thing. You don't want to do that.
I once went to a show. I used to go to a lot of punk shows when I was in high school and that kind of thing. And I once went to a show where the lead singer was far, far, far too wasted, probably high as well, to perform.
Yeah.
And it was like a return show for this band. They were a semi-popular punk band. I don't remember what the name of them was, but my friend was very stoked to see them. And we got there, and literally within the first song, which, they're a typical punk band, so every song's like 2 to 3 minutes tops, where it's just like full energy.
Yeah.
That you could tell in the first song that the dude, he comes out onto the stage, he almost falls over grabbing the mic because they didn't have a mic stand, so he grabbed the mic off the ground, and then when he came up to sing, he went backwards into the drum set.
Yes.
So he went backwards, and then this stage was fairly high up from the crowd. Like the stage did come right into the crowd, but it was elevated. It was probably 6 to 8 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
And so then after doing that, the band kind of comes over, and you can already tell the band is pissed at this guy. And so they come over and they kind of get him up, get him functional, and he goes through the rest of the song. And then as the second song starts, he literally just nosedives front off the stage into the crowd. And so my friend is holding him up in the crowd, like trying to sing along with them because apparently he knows this band and he knows the words, and he's like trying to get the guy to sing. And finally, after that second song, they called it. They literally just called it. So they played for maybe 4 minutes. Yeah. Did that. Guy falls off the stage. Called it. So I've been to shows where that's happened. Yeah. I've also been to a show. This was probably one of my favorite stage disasters I've ever seen. I went to a show. It was like, oh my God, they were an opening act for somebody. It was like international something event. Like, I can't remember what it is. And so he literally did the thing. Like, a lot of times you'll see this with singers who have corded mics. And this is the best way to piss off a sound tech or someone in the venue. So he pulled the shit where he started whipping the mic around and he threw it into the air. Like, he threw it up into the air, and he had the cord, and he pulled the cord down and just smashed it right into his fucking head and took himself out. So he's like, blah, 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 whoa, boom, and just takes himself out. Of course. And I was like, that was fucking amazing. That might have been the funniest thing I've seen at an event. So everyone was probably angry because the sound guy is angry that you're throwing around the microphones and that you're doing dumb shit like that. Then the audience thought it was hilarious because it totally destroyed the song. And the band was hysterical. They were laughing so hard at the dude. I think he might have broken his nose. So he sang the rest of
a microphone is very heavy, especially like if a sound tech has it. Yes. Then he has the good stuff, and the good stuff is always heavy.
It was taped and all that stuff. So we've shown him a couple of times. We know that C. Miller is here. But before, we're going to do something a little bit different for today's performance because Mr. Miller did an album release yesterday and just released his new single, his new music video, his new stuff from yesterday. And he performed pretty much all day yesterday, Australia time, to be able to do that. So given the time differences and all of that stuff, instead of him doing a live performance, he created something for us yesterday that we're going to show. And also we are going to debut his brand new video for alcohol and cigarettes, which is basically the topic we moved into at this point.
I like how we're always on topic, and we don't plan these things.
Yeah, we're totally always on topic. Like, look at this, always on topic. It's just like that's just how it works. And
with 2 frames per second.
2 frames. Yeah, we might have to change that in a second. I don't know what's going on with it today.
Yeah, I don't know either. But
but let's debut first from C. Miller, from Chris Miller. Everyone knows him as CMillerMusic. Yes. Which is why I keep calling him that. But his official name is Chris Miller. Ooh. Chris Miller. It's very fancy. Let's debut his new video for alcohol and cigarettes. And let me turn off the instrumentals before I do that, because I will forget. Because I always forget. How about that?
How about that?
Tell me about your troubles and how far you've come. Tell me everything and show me your scars. Help me understand all the pain in your heart. Help me stop the bleeding before it goes dark. Just come on over and we'll work it out. And tell me your regrets over alcohol and cigarettes. Let me fight your demons, silence your fears. Though things seem hard, I'll always be here. Just come on over and we'll work it out. Just come on over, relinquish your doubts, and tell me your regrets over alcohol and cigarettes.
That was awesome. That was super cool. Yay.
Very nice.
Very nice.
I want to talk about this song actually.
Yes.
Produced by Simon McKenna.
Yes. But he also recorded a performance for us, so we're going to get into that. And then afterwards, because our solution's working kind of silly, I'm going to recall him in a different way. So we'll set that up during Discovery. But before then, we've got a segment that he sent us from yesterday's album release performance.
I'm excited.
He recorded it specifically for us. So let's go and check that out.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
alibis. Living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Living it up at the Hotel California.
Beautiful.
Love that.
It was beautiful.
It was a beautiful.
It was a very beautiful moment.
Are we gonna go
for
for a
Music
discovery?
Exposed. Oh, we are. We're ready to discover. And
We're
in the
ready to
interim, I'm going to hurt myself because I have to try to do multiple things at once. But you're ready for that, aren't you, chat? Because we're ready! They can hear music, but they can't hear me. Hooray! That was the one thing I forgot. Thank you for that. But anyway, because the one thing I didn't do, a pro or streamer. I could show that. Okay.
Yeah, we're just. This is the last guest episode, so we're just doing everything wrong.
Well, it's just because the normal technology didn't work for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
why.
But anyway, Music Exposed. But listen, you know what? Forget it. I'll do it right now. I will turn this stream right around. You know what?
You're using your stream memes. You're hijacking my channel. This is when my channel goes viral because finally it's not a titty streamer streaming.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a bearded dude. Today it's two bearded dudes.
Okay, so the Music Exposed Bulletin Board, if you were wondering what that is, it is where we share all the latest releases and updates from Twitch streamers and streaming musicians on any site, really. And we have 2 weeks of releases that came in this week, things that I've been tracking the last couple weeks. As always, if you want to stay up to date with the newest releases that are coming out, we have 3 other resources that we provide on the bulletin board at musicexposed.show every single week, where you can find out about the newest, most cutting-edge, bleeding-edge, up-to-date stuff. So make sure you always check out Twitch Finds with 5 Hit Dune. That's every Sunday, so that'll be tomorrow. Make sure you check out the Eargasm with LP, where she does reviews and support of new streamer music and music from all over the world. So you can check that out on the Eargasm with LP or twitch.tv/theeargasm. And Glasswegian's blog, and every week Glasswegian provides us with amazing entries. I think that man spends 24 hours a day on the internet finding releases and letting people know. And he also hosts a blog series with both Sarah and I. And well, I don't know if Chris has been in it or not. We'll have to ask him. Yeah. But he does a series where he does a similar thing, where he does some interviews with Twitch musicians called 10 for 10 that he releases every single week. So make sure you check those out. And let's talk about the releases for this week. You just saw the debut of Alcohol and Cigarettes from Chris Miller. So that song is available. And again, all these links are available at musicexposed.show. And they will be with this episode forever. So if you're watching this 3 years from now and you're like, where is this music? All these same links will still be here. So Chris Miller's Alcohol and Cigarettes just dropped. Mama Joe Vrama Joe just dropped a new album called Black Hole Friday, which is up on their Bandcamp right now. They have been guests on the show before, and they do amazing, esoteric, indie, weird stuff, so make sure you check that out. Saoirse Music, who I definitely want to get on this show at some point, she hasn't been on yet, just dropped her new single that's called Save Me Now. That just came out. I never know how to pronounce this.
Sayano. I always say Sayano.
It is Sayano. Yeah. That's what I thought. So Sayano just dropped her new album. We debuted her video a few.
I want to get her on at some point.
Yeah, definitely. She's amazing.
Love her. She's awesome.
So Museum of Sins just came out, which also features the music video we had on there. Under the River came out a couple of months ago, so that we have that on there. But the new album dropped. The Tangerine Club just dropped their new video for their song Seasons, which just came out. We had that single featured a couple weeks ago, but the official video just came out. Bethan Lamas, also known as Corny Ears, another amazing streamer. Here comes all the holiday stuff, all of the fun Christmas music and that kind of thing. Ooh. So she just dropped her 2-song EP, which is O Come, O Emmanuel, and O Lang Syne. That is on her Bandcamp. Emmy Law just did a collab with Jennifer Jess of On Christmas Day, another holiday standard, so you can grab that one and check that out. Natalie Holmes just dropped a collab with Jack Cookson called Christmas Outside, which just came out, also available on her Bandcamp. Anel Stahl, who a lot of you know, just dropped her video for her Christmas song, Mr. Christmas. So we have lots of, that's kind of amazing that you could probably put together a whole playlist of holiday songs or
from
holiday music from music streamers.
Oh my God, we should make a Christmas song.
Oh God, I said that. I said that 4 months ago, but
chestnuts roasting on a roasting.
Finger fucking on an open fire.
No.
And then there was a collaboration series that was hosted by Maddie Twig, aka Callsign Scarecrow. He is beloved by many in the music community, and he helped put teams together who did collab songs. And so there was a collaboration between Calvin Thomas, Malin Nordmark, and Paul the Brave. That was a cover of the song Falling Slowly from the movie Once. And so those 3 did a collab on that. Make sure you check that out. I know that is another song that is very popular in Twitch music.
Thank you, Warrior, for gifting that sub to Creative Minds.
And thank you for that.
Warrior.
Thank you so much. And so, Chris Miller, Mama Joe Vrama Joe, Saoirse, Sayano, The Tangerine Club, Bethan Lamas, Emmy Law, Jennifer Jess, Natalie Holmes, Anel Stahl, Calvin Thomas, Malin Nordmark, and Paul the Brave. That is your Music Exposed Bulletin Board.
Awesome. And now...
Hold on, let's hope it all works.
Yeah.
Let's hope it all works.
I'm pretty sure it works.
I don't know. I need to go back to his full screen, okay? Because I was looking at the bulletin board.
Good.
All right?
Okay.
Let's check in. Is it working?
Yes.
How does this work?
I present to you CMillerMusic.
There he is. Finally, he's in the right camera. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. It's
better
in
now
the
that it's
morning. I mean, it's not really in the morning, but, we woke up and pretty much started working right away. So, hi, how are you?
Yes, that's what we always do.
You also have your coffee, right? Just coffee.
Yes.
I just finished my second mega mug. I think I'm going back for a third.
Mega mug. I don't know.
Maybe mugs in general, because the coffee gets so cold so quickly. That's why I prefer these things. You know.
I feel like I've got to be like,
You got to get on the body, right?
Oh, you want to get on the body?
Yeah, that's right. It's a beautiful body, so we understand that's.
You're the diva.
We understand
so,
that's why you want to see it for sure. So, first of all, tell us, how did your album release party go yesterday? How was it? How was everything?
it was great. It was great. Lots of positive feedback.
Nice.
You know what everyone's like in the Twitch community. They're super, super supportive of everything that you do. So
Yeah.
overwhelmingly great support. Yeah.
Yeah, and did you see a lot of, and obviously it's probably too early to tell since the single just dropped, but have you seen a lot of support and pre-saves and things like that on the streaming releases? And also, if you like, you can probably send that over to me, or I'll just grab the one. I'll actually go grab that in a second so that we can post a link so people can go reserve the release as well.
Yeah, it's it's been the most supported single that I've done so far. Like, my first single is actually my most successful so far.
Nice.
But in terms of pre-saves and the lead up to it, this one definitely has gotten more love.
Nice.
I did see
it's been a big
something.
journey.
I did see something that I wanted to ask you about, and I'm curious what you ended up doing with it, because I did see a post. It looked like you had done either a remaster or you had done something with the tracks, and you had posted that you wanted to see if you would lose all your pre-saves if you had to switch the track over. Did you end up switching the track, or did you just keep it as is, or how did that end up working out for you?
I kept it as is because
Okay.
I would have had to remove it entirely from the stores and then re-upload it, which means I
Oh,
would have
that
pushed the
sucks.
release date way further back. So I was like, you
Yeah.
know what? I'm just going to leave it as is. The difference wasn't huge. It was just my producer messaged me and was like, so I've done something to the mixing and it sounds a little bit better. Have a listen.
Yeah.
And I listened to it and I was like, it's better, but it's not like, oh my God, better. So I'm just
Yeah.
gonna leave
Right.
it.
Right. So tell us about the process behind this new single. Tell us what inspired it, and what's the kind of story that led to you putting this song together.
So basically at the very start of it, I had a friend message me and say, oh, want to catch up, have a few drinks and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, sure. So he come on over. We had a beer and just mucked around during the night and whatever. He went home. The next day, he ended up messaging me and saying, I really needed to catch up last night and just to hang out with somebody because he, for a bit of a pre-story, he had a friend take his own life
Oh,
a couple of
jeez.
years ago.
Yeah.
And it devastated him, it gutted him, and it still affects him to this day. The next day he messaged me and said, I've been thinking about my friend a lot lately. It was his birthday the other day. I've been really struggling. And it was great to just catch up with someone. And like, he didn't tell me about any of this on the day. It was like, I just needed someone just to hang out with and, just take my mind off it.
Yeah.
And so I was sitting at my computer about 20 minutes before stream.
Yeah.
And I was mucking around with some chords and lines and whatnot. And all of a sudden this line just came out of tell me your regrets over alcohol and cigarettes. And it instantly made me think of the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's a song.
That's
and
amazing.
so I started stream and I said, chat, we're writing a song today.
Huh.
And
That's so cool.
That is amazing. Yeah.
so for 6 hours, I told them the concept and basically the brief about what I want the song to be about, and got their ideas. And pretty much we spent 6 hours writing all the lyrics and formatting how and structuring it how we wanted to. And basically everyone just sharing stories about friends or family that have taken their own lives, or they've lost a friend in another way, and that they never get to see them or have that conversation ever again, and how much that affects them. So it was a really, really emotional stream where everyone was just sharing all these stories, and there was hundreds of people just constantly throwing it out there. It was fantastic. Like, I was in the creative space, and then when I finished stream and I went out and listened to what we had like written, I was like, holy crap, this is a beautiful song. Like, this is really,
It's
really
amazing.
great.
What a cool process.
Yeah,
do you
so
normally write and produce all your songs on stream, or is that an every once in a while kind of thing?
I wrote my previous single before this one called Fuck 2020,
Right.
which
Yeah.
actually has Sarah on it,
Yes.
on the saxophone,
Serious.
and Matt Gaddy on the bass.
Yes.
That's
why we
so
mentioned
we wrote
him
that one
earlier.
live on stream.
Yes.
Yeah. So we wrote that one live on stream as well, and we basically recorded a short demo. But I think I'm slowly transitioning into doing it more often. And like, this entire process for this entire song, we wrote it live on stream. I recorded the demos live on stream.
That's awesome. Yeah.
My whole day in the studio that I had booked, I took all my streaming stuff in. We set up cameras in the vocal booth and in the control room, and recorded the entire day live on Twitch as well.
Did people enjoy that?
With all the music,
watching that?
people loved it.
Yeah.
People loved it.
Cool.
And I think people enjoyed it so much because they didn't actually understand what goes into, like, you go into a studio. It's not like you walk in there, play your thing, and go, okay, cool. Now you, Mr. Producer, do the magic. Like, they don't realize that you do, 20 vocal takes of like a certain line just to try and get it sounding a bit better, or you'll play the song 15 times just to make sure you've got plenty of stuff that you can comp with and play with and whatever. And there was a lot of people saying, holy crap, I didn't realize how in depth a 3-minute song is in the studio when you record it. And that's just one day.
Yeah.
One day, one song. Always how it goes.
Yeah.
That's interesting because my experience is one day, 5 songs.
Yes, but you are playing with jazz musicians that are generally probably of a higher caliber of musicianship than a lot of your typical studio people, not your garage punk bands. Like, it's far easier for them to get in, because that was true. Actually, I recently, it was actually last year at this time, or no, 2 years ago now, where I spent a day in the studio in a ridiculous studio with jazz musicians, and it was very similar. They did about 4 or 5 tracks in one day, but they were all top of their craft style musicians that could get in and just deliver perfectly. So probably similar for what you were dealing with. Yeah. Your question.
So this kind of ties to what I was talking about when fucking Silence was blowing bubbles. Because
what's wrong with that?
Cigarettes and alcohol, or alcohol and cigarettes. What is your experience with just drug abuse in music? Unless you don't want to talk about yourself or about other people, what is your experience with music and drugs / emotions, kind of dealing with, traumatic incidences or just, depressive moments?
Yep. My experience, I grew up surrounded by, alcohol and drugs from in childhood, basically. So it sort of made me, when I became older, stay away from it, because I knew what it does to people and families and everything like that. Not that I'm saying I don't drink or anything like that, or never experimented. Absolutely have. But I've definitely never I don't overindulge in anything.
Yeah.
And that's just purely because of everything that I've grown up with, being in that, and I've seen friends as well in the same process.
Yeah.
I've seen lots of friends. I've played in bands before where, you were talking earlier about they're being so drunk they can't stand up on stage and stuff.
Right.
I've been there. And I've seen that, and it's sometimes it was funny, sometimes it was fucking frustrating.
Yeah.
I was like, because
Sometimes
I spend a
it's
lot of
just
time
sad.
it is. And I've seen some incredible musicians get to a point where they're absolutely, they're amazing, but then it's almost like the better they get and the more famous, I guess you'd call it, they get, the worse they get at overindulging in everything, and their talent just starts to just slowly disappear to the point where nobody wants to see them because they're just constantly fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and this is an interesting question from chat. It's kind of a follow-up to that, but it's interesting for some people, and obviously I'm the same as you. I had a family that struggled with those things, and so I did the exact same kind of thing where I will indulge every once in a while, but for the most part stay away from it because I'm like, I know where this goes. But I think this is true of some musicians, and they're asking, but for some people, can you play as well when they're sober, or do they feel the music the same when sober? Now, obviously, since we don't really write that way, it doesn't affect it, but I do think there are some people who depend on those things to be able to write. It's kind of an interesting process of some people, that's the feel of what they're trying to do. So I imagine for some people that is probably an issue if they're dependent on it for writing certain songs. Like, here's a great example. I mean, there's a lot of musicians in the 60s and 70s who wrote great albums, and then a lot of their albums in the 80s sucked because they were clean or in rehab or off the drugs. Like, there's lots of people that are like that, so it's obviously a thing, but I don't think it's a thing for any of us, is it? I don't think so.
I mean, I am of the same opinion as Dexter Gordon said. Somebody asked him, why do you like, how can you play well on stage, being fucked up? And it's like, because I practice fucked up, And I think because I think that's actually the key to it. If you practice fucked up, you play well fucked up on stage too.
Yeah.
If you're not fucked up when you're practicing, then you will be terrible when you're on stage. You know?
Bazzy says,
Because
if Sarah wasn't doing drugs, we would never have gotten the hit that is Animal Crossing. True. They're not. That's not wrong. It's not wrong. But I don't think that's true of any of us here that are
Chris,
as songwriters.
Have you experienced that where you're too drunk or too something, and have you had concerns with that?
I'm my biggest fear when it comes to playing music is that I'm going to play a shit show.
Yeah.
So
Same.
I like that. Just like if to think that somebody's paying me to get up on stage to play, like I will not drink at all until I finish my show, and then I'll go get pissed and have fun and do whatever. But before the show or when I'm due to go on or when I'm on stage, I just won't drink because my fear is that I'm going to get drunk, I'm going to fuck it up. People are going to see me and go, he's just a drunk or he's shit or whatever.
Right.
That's my biggest fear. So I don't.
Totally understand that.
I agree.
So you obviously mentioned that you had a lot. It seems like you've had some history either before and during being a Twitch streamer with live gigging and that kind of thing. So what was your experience in live gigging, and did you play with various bands, or how did that work out? And how much experience do you have in doing that kind of thing?
Live bands. I grew up through my whole teenage years playing in. I started off playing. I learned acoustic guitar first, like playing finger picking, nice stuff, and then I discovered Metallica. But once I discovered Metallica, I was like turned into that teenage, metal, rock, hell yeah. And so I played in many of those bands that you were talking about earlier, where you're in some, we got big, massive dreams to become huge rock stars, and really we just sucked. But, I played in a few metal bands and things like that. And then, for various different reasons, they all just stopped working out or whatever. Yeah. And I ended up just sort of playing acoustic gigs again with friends and always having vocalists. So I only started singing about 2.5 years ago myself because I didn't have anyone else to do my vocals anymore.
Sure.
So I had to.
That's so interesting.
That's amazing.
That was for me the same case. I only started singing because we were like, we need a female voice and we don't have money to pay another band member.
Yes. We can't have a second woman in this band.
We can't have 6 people instead of 5 because
that's
that's a huge difference in terms of gigs paying. And if you
I was just making a joke about you being an alpha. Sarah's like, I cannot have another female.
Actually, I was never the bitch of the bassists. For some reason, they're either the bassist is really interesting. I don't know if you guys have the same experience, but the bass players are either the chillest, coolest dudes, or they are the divas of the band. It's really interesting. There's
Gaddies, the Matt Gaddies.
Yeah, the Matt Gaddies.
Matt Gaddy is definitely the diva of this show, for sure. For sure.
Yes.
No, I've always just thought that bass players tend to be the weird ones. That's always been my experience with them.
For me, that's the drummers.
Drummers are also weird,
always
but
the weirdos.
Drummers are weird in a different way, though, because at least in my experience in the bands, drummers still could even if they were introverted, they could socialize with people, and people would be like, "Oh yeah, you're a drummer, you're cool." Like people would still talk to the drummers. They might still meet, they might still get girls, they might still get that stuff. The bassists were generally so awkward they wouldn't even get that.
Really?
They would be like,
that's not my experience.
Unless you were, I feel like jazz is a totally different world, though.
Yeah, because
you're just playing with totally different types.
A good drummer is so valuable in the jazz world because it's so difficult. And if you are a bass player, in jazz, a good bass player, you always get gigs because there's so few of them. That's why there's a joke that I saw on a saxophone group on Facebook where it was like,
what are you, a boomer? Saxophone group? I'm in #saxophone on Facebook.
I never go on Facebook, but that one time I had on my timeline, I really liked that joke where it was saxophone is preparing for 2021 and it's a guy playing a bass.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's basically that's how it is in jazz. The bass players are they are always paid, Yeah. If you are a good bass player in jazz, because they're so rare, it's very difficult to have good bass players.
I feel like it's exactly the opposite, at least in my experience in rock and metal and bands like that, of generally the bassist, unless you get a really, like you said, finding a skilled bassist is just hard in general. Yeah. So unless you, especially when it comes to rock and that, it's normally bassists are failed guitarists
for whatever reason. If they either didn't practice enough or they were too awkward to be the lead guitarist or something for a band. But, it depends. It depends. So, yeah.
Chris, so how would you compare? I love this. This is my favorite question always because because everybody has different experiences. How would you compare playing a gig live on stage to playing a set on Twitch? How would you compare the audiences, the feeling, and the hustle around it and all of that?
The best thing about Twitch is, people being interactive. Like, I guess the difference that I compare it to and I tell people is like, I go and play a gig at a pub. The people in there aren't necessarily there to see me. They might be there to have dinner or meet up with their friends and have some drinks. And I just happen to be background music or I'm there.
Yeah.
Whereas on Twitch, I go live. Every single person that comes in my channel is there to see me play.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's the interactive nature of it all is just head and shoulders above playing a live gig, unless you play like a ticketed event, for instance, and people are specifically coming to see you.
Right.
It's like playing a ticketed event every day.
Yeah.
And those same people paying the tickets and coming. It's like, wow, like this is incredible.
Yeah.
And how did you? I don't know a ton about your origin story. So how did you end up on Twitch, and how did you start building a following here? And were you a person that started as kind of more of live learning and covers or that kind of thing, or did you play a mixture of originals and that kind of thing when you started?
I didn't have any originals at all. A couple of years ago, so I was watching Twitch one day, and I was watching some gamers. I've had Twitch for a few years now, and randomly I came across the music streamer trio, brother, sister, father trio, and Vari.
Okay.
And I was like, wait, holy shit, there's people playing music on Twitch?
Yes.
Really? And so I sat there and watched their entire stream. It was like 5 hours or something, and I'd come in the first like half hour or so. So I watched the entire stream, and I was blown away by people were just like giving them money and subscribing to them and like just watching. And I'm just watching the view count go up, and I'm like, this shouldn't work. Like in my head at first, I was like,
yes.
Did all of us have that? Because I had that too. Of like,
Same.
really, this
Same.
is a thing.
I was like,
really?
this is not Shroud.
Yeah.
How the fuck are they making money?
Yes. Yes.
yeah. But then I sort of like stepped back for a second, and I said to my wife, I'm like, holy shit, this is online busking.
Yep.
Like this is legitimately online busking. Like people around the world are walking past going, hey, play my song. Here's $5. Play my song. And they're playing their song, and they're getting all this. I was like, holy shit, this makes so much sense. And at that stage, I wasn't playing music. I started playing music like by myself and just singing and whatnot. And my wife said to me, you're sitting in front of your computer learning new music anyway. You're watching Twitch a lot of the time anyway. Why don't you just turn the webcam on and do it?
Yep.
And I was like, oh, I don't know. And she's like, just do it. So she really pushed me to start a Twitch channel. And so I did. And my very first VODs and everything like that are horrible quality because all the equipment that I had was the worst of the worst.
Yes.
Like
Same.
I had a Panasonic microphone that had an inbuilt lead in it and an auxiliary jack at the end of it. It was a karaoke mic.
No, I can't.
Yes.
It's amazing.
That was my very first mic.
I have a Mickey Mouse mic in the garage. We should break out at some point just for that purpose.
Yes.
Very similar.
Like
with
first
the built-in
stream,
lead.
just
we'll just
reenacting
recreate
a
first scenes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, my first stream was on a laptop camera, so I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that whole time I just started streaming, and instantly I just felt like, oh my god, this is fun. Like I love this. And on my very first stream, I got raided by an Aussie streamer, and it blew me away. I was like, whoa, hang on a second. Now there's all these people here. What do I do? Because there was obviously only 2 people watching or something. And I just it's so addictive. You know what it's like. It's so addictive.
Yes.
You just keep going with it. And people pushed me, and the community pushed me, and I just started writing music as well. And it's just it just snowballed. It's just slowly snowballed over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have you been on Twitch though?
I started streaming in August 2018.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, so kind of around the same time as me, actually. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's interesting.
But for the first 12 months, it really, like, it sort of just grew a little bit over the first 12 months. It's really
Yeah.
been the second 12 months where I figured out a lot of things, including, visuals and audio. Once I got the audio sounding really good,
Yeah.
that's when I started noticing that the whole game changed. Like,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
changed the whole thing.
So as our
Yeah.
first Australian streamer, I actually have a question that maybe doesn't have a lot to do with music, but do you feel like there is an Australian community where you're like more connected to? Because in Portuguese streamers, for example, which I'm part of, is like we're all like kind of, we're kind of a community, even though, some do ASMR, the others do just chatting, the others do games, the others do music, Do you feel like Australians have also like a tight knit?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like super tight knit, like not myself anyway, but there is the Australian musicians or just streamers in general. I find like you said, super supportive of each other. Like they
Yeah.
just want to see each other succeed. And I want that for everybody on Twitch, not just Aussies, but
Right.
Aussies in particular. Like I love, you come across an opportunity to do something or have somebody involved. I always look homegrown first, and if I can't find somebody that can fit the bill, then I will look outside.
Yeah.
And into the wider Twitch space. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I see that sometimes, like, with people like, I don't know, Geef, Smexiest Chicken, Badjo, Cowboy, Cardboard Boy, Cowboy, etc. Like,
Yeah.
all those people are very, supportive of each other, although they do like different things.
Yeah.
That's why, you know.
And a follow up to that question, what's interesting to me, do you find that, do you stream at times that are Aussie friendly? And also, do you find that, you get a large percentage of audience that's from Australia? Or do you find that your audience is from all over the place, no matter what time you're playing or how that's working out for you?
I stream at the time that suits me.
Yeah, that's
To be
good.
honest,
Yes.
It's a good thing to be. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm a father of 3 kids. I'm a husband. I work a day job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can't really change my schedule, but it works out that I stream at a time that doesn't impact on my family life. So
Right.
my kids go to bed and all that sort of stuff, and then I'm able to go, okay, now I can go live and do my nighttime stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely Aussie friendly. It's actually pretty friendly too for some Europeans and stuff like that. Like they get on about, I think when I start, they're about 10 to 12, like in the morning. So it's not too bad. Americans, sadly, it's like really, really early in the morning for them.
Yeah,
So
that's why
sometimes
I
they
realized
can't join.
I don't think I've seen you on other streams, but I have not seen your stream yet, and that's probably why, because you're probably on at a strange
Yeah.
time for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. Eastern or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that'd be the middle of the night
Yeah.
for me here. Yeah. 2
Yeah.
a.m. So yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I have another very important question.
Very
Very important question. Can you, for all the people out there who are bearded, give some beard
Beard tips.
advice? Please give all the bearded weirdos some beard advice.
Wash your beard.
Yes.
How do you wash your beard?
Wash it?
Please tell us
Yes.
how you wash it. In the shower, or is
Oh,
it like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you wash your hair and stuff, you don't use the normal shampoo and conditioner. I've got like an actual beard shampoo.
Yeah.
Beard
just-
shampoo. Is it different than
Yep,
normal
It
shampoo?
is. Yes.
Why? What
Yeah,
is
it's
the
just
difference? Tell us about the difference. I actually am interested in this.
Like sandalwood and stuff. Like it's nice. It just makes the beard
Yeah.
nice and soft and
Yeah.
cleans up the skin as well and things like that. Because otherwise, sometimes people don't tend to clean the beard and underneath and stuff like that, and it can get quite like dandruff. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? In a
yeah.
beard.
It's gross.
It's not pretty.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wash it, brush it. Keep it neat because I work in an office job as well. So I've got to have a groomed beard.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you wash it, oil it regularly as well.
Yep.
So you use oil. I know that Ken uses butter.
I do.
You
I use
know?
beard
Yeah.
butter.
Yeah.
It's just preference. It's all just the same stuff, same
Yeah.
idea. Like I haven't had to. Sarah wants me to grow it, which normally I have it much shorter than this,
Dude,
so it's
dudes
driving
with
me
beards are
crazy. I
fucking
hate it,
sexy
but
as
I'm learning. I'm
fucking hell,
learning
you
to
know?
live with it. Like I have used the specialized beard shampoo stuff. For me, I haven't needed to use it because
Yeah.
the stuff I use for my hair, I use really light shampoo and conditioner. So I actually use shampoo every day, and then I'll condition a couple times a week too, which actually seems to have the exact same effect.
Interesting.
For what I'm doing.
I find that very interesting.
Because I live in it's very dry here, as you know from being here. So you don't tend to have oh, look, we have special guests. Hello. Yes. So, but yes, that's beard maintenance for me. Got milk. You can, but I like the beard butter because it's easier to apply than the oil. That's just my preference, though. It doesn't really matter.
So how would you now that we're talking about these very important questions? I have another.
Sarah's clearly on music today.
I have another very, very important question. So you've been here for almost 3 years. Have you had any beef or drama with some other people? On Twitch or Twitter, because Twitter likes to.
Yeah, streamer Twitter seems to have
streamer
more of
Twitter
that.
is amazing. I love it.
I think I've had one person be very I think I cracked the shits one time live on stream. I had a person come in and was just extremely rude, and they were actually a long-time viewer, but they were being extremely rude to me and to my wife in chat, and I ended up just spitting it. And then later on, I felt bad because I was like, I shouldn't have put him on blast like that live. Like I should have, I should have handled it a little bit better. Yeah. And then they ended up messaging me and they said, he's like, oh, you didn't have to put me on blast like that. And I'm like, well, you kind of deserved it though. Like, I could have done it differently. I'm like, you fucking deserve that, man. You asked for that. Come on. And it took probably well over 12 months for them to actually come back in the channel, and they just chatted a little bit, but they were much nicer the second time around.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your wife is involved with your stream. Is she like a mod, or is she involved directly in the stream sometimes, or what's her role for supporting you?
Yeah, she's a mod. She's in channel nearly every time I stream because obviously she's at home with me most of the time I stream. But she actually does like the intermissions. So when I take a break or go get some water or take a toilet break, she'll come and sit down and just talk with chat, and everyone laughs.
So
cute. Nice. That's amazing.
I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's awesome.
But everyone goes, "Oh, look, the real streamer's here."
Of course, that's what has
every
to
single time.
Yes. It's interesting because we're starting to see this trend in the music community because streamer wives. I think there's going to be like a streamer wives team eventually. Yeah. Because you got like Sapphire Gaddy
like
coming
soccer
out.
Wives.
Yeah, we're gonna have
sportsman guys.
it's gonna.
Wives, sorry.
Well, I think that we need that. That should be something for the future.
And they're gonna be the divas of Twitch where like, my husband makes music on Twitch. He plays the guitar and sings.
Yeah, he's so handsome and so talented at what he does.
Do you even know what my husband does?
Yeah.
He's a Twitch streamer.
Okay, so I have a question for you about that because obviously you live, as you mentioned, I also work a day job, and I think a lot of us do because most people think there's way more money in streaming than there is.
I don't.
Yes. Well, no one asked you. I'm just kidding. But do you find it difficult to discuss Twitch streaming with people outside of the Twitch know-how? Like, so if you're talking to somebody, do people from your office, for example, know that you do the streaming thing and watch your streams? Or do other people in your life, are they aware of you doing that? Or is it something that when you try to explain it, people are like, I have no idea what that is or no idea what that means?
Well, anyone that knows me or knows, like as friends, like, come on. As a streamer, you're like, hey guys, did you know I'm a streamer? Did you know I'm a streamer? I stream on this thing called twitch.tv. You should come and watch me. Like,
yes,
exactly.
Like,
come
you
lurk
are
on my
like
channel.
that in general. So,
yeah. You don't even have to watch
everyone
it.
that I work, everyone that I work with and that all know that I stream. And they every now and again they'll drop in, or I'll get an email like when I'm at work, and they're like, "Oh, I watched your stream last night. Like, loved it. It was super fun." And like when I first try to explain it to people, I literally just say, you know how there's like Facebook Live? Like, I'm like, I do that, but people specifically come to watch the live channel and they subscribe to me and they hang out and they talk with me and watch my live shows just like you would if you were at a gig, but it's online busking. And they're like, oh, okay. And then that sort of draws them into
That's
coming
such a
along
cool
and
explanation of it.
Yeah, I like that explanation of
Yeah,
it a lot
because my
too, yeah.
explanation was when my sister asked me, "What the fuck is that?" She was like, "So you're basically a cam girl without the sex," and I was like, "Yes."
That's going to be my explanation to most people
Yeah,
when
you're
I explain it.
basically
I'm
a
like,
cam girl
yeah,
without
I'm a
sex.
cam girl without the sex. That's
A
how
cam
it
girl with a
is.
guitar.
Yeah, I have a guitar and lots of weird, flashy things.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. So tell us a little bit. So you obviously you mentioned the last 12 months have been big for you, and you are a Twitch partner now. So how did that partner journey go for you? Did you do like a partner push? Or I know it's a big topic because we have a lot of other music streamers that watch the show and watch the VODs. So, what would be some advice or some experience that you could give about the process of making it to partner?
I think even the difference between when I started and people starting now is the quality that people have from the very beginning is almost top level straight away.
Right.
Yes.
Whereas,
Yes.
like you go back a few years ago, like I had the shittiest webcam, I had a shitty mic, I had shitty stuff, and I just slowly built it up over time. Whereas now people are joining. They have digital SLRs. They're working with a DAW. They already know how to mix. They've got looping down panel. They've got singing. Like they are just instantly way better than what when I started 2 years ago. Like if I was to start now, I'd probably have to start with a budget of like $7,000 just to feel like I was on par.
Yeah.
Like, to even get like a computer, just upgraded gear and things like that. Like things I've accumulated over years. People are just coming onto Twitch with now, and I'm like, oh, like wow, like it's incredible.
Yeah, for sure.
But my biggest thing is, I think if you want to seriously make partner, it is all letting it happen naturally. Like I didn't do a partner push. I didn't try and get people. Like I don't do like, there's a lot of people and stuff that, and this, I'm not saying one way is correct or any one way is wrong, but like I don't throw my self promotion in Discord channels, or I don't, I try not to do too many going lives and that sort of thing. I just let the community build over time, because like I know that once I reached partner, I wasn't going to go downhill. Like I was going to continue my trend. Whereas I have seen, and a lot of people have seen, and it's obviously normally the number one pain point about saying, oh, if you do a partner push, this is most likely to happen, is that you reach partner and then your viewership goes down because people go, oh, he's reached his goal now, I don't need to be here.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed with
so
that.
it's always in my thing has always been just naturally let it happen, let it grow, and you'll reach it eventually, because I'm looking at I work in finance for a day job, so I literally am an analytical person, so I'm just looking at all the analytics going, it'll get there eventually, like it will. I just it's just going to take time.
Now do you think that there is, I don't think we've ever asked this question before, and I just thought about it because we've only had a few partners on here, and most of the partners we've had a few, but more were goofy as opposed to like serious.
We had more partners.
Don't clout chase right now.
No, I'm just saying,
we haven't had that many.
Okay.
But the question that I have for you,
I'm such a clout chaser.
have you noticed any particular benefits to a music channel from being a partner? Like, is there anything in particular that has benefited your channel by getting the check mark that you feel like you didn't have when you were an affiliate? Like, is there more opportunities for front page? Is there anything in particular that you're like, okay, well, partner helped unlock this thing? Because I think a lot of music streamers get this idea, like, once I've hit partner, that's the big time. Yeah. Now I'm in the big time. So have you noticed anything like that you could say, okay, this is a definitive thing that did change, or it's mostly just the same with the check mark?
Honestly, the biggest thing about getting the check mark was almost just the personal thing. Like, this sounds really stupid, but the validation that I was good enough to be on Twitch as a musician. Yeah. And I'm not saying if you don't have the check mark, you're not. But it was like just for me,
you're not.
But like just self-validation for myself was like, that's something that I've always wanted, and I've gotten it. That's great. Like it's still business as usual for me. Like I just let things happen. It was really I actually didn't turn my check mark on for a fair while because I didn't want to go into people's channels and be like, hey, and then have somebody like, like I didn't want to seem like that
I just
guy,
made
you
partner.
know.
Look at me. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
what you mean. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and you guys have both
And
talked
so
about
some
this.
people-
You guys have both talked about this issue where, like, a lot of times, do you find that since you've turned the check mark on, that when you go into a chat, sometimes it becomes more about you being in the chat with the check mark than the streamer? Because Sarah, you've mentioned this as an issue for you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
even
have
though
a
you don't have a check mark,
yeah.
but still, like, sometimes you'll go into a chat as a more popular streamer, and people will be like, "Oh, well, Sarah Jasmine's here. We need to pay attention to that."
Yeah.
So, have you found that to be an issue at all for you, Chris?
Sometimes yes,
Okay.
where I'm like, I'm not here to like. I actually find that I lurk a lot more channels for that reason.
Yes,
okay.
same.
yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I lurk in a lot of channels now, and like, and I feel bad because the streamer then thinks that I'm not around, but at the
Yeah.
same time, like when I do come, I don't want to be like I'll say something like, "Hey, good morning, how you doing?" And they're like, a lot of streamers now are starting to just go, "Oh, hey Chris, how you doing? Like, hope you're doing well," and then that's it. I'm like, yes, like
Yes,
I just get to
yes.
sit here and just chat and hang out, like
Right.
and have fun. I don't want to go into some streams and have them like go bananas about the fact that
Yeah.
I'm just there, and I'm just like, I'm just me, guys. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just a little old
I
me. Like,
feel
Right.
that so much.
I appreciate it, but I don't want it to
Yeah.
be about me. That's not why I'm there. I'm about you. That's why I'm in
Yeah.
your channel watching. That's
Right.
yeah.
But I feel like, I have learned this because I'm exactly the same way. I just have learned that it kind of hurts you if you do that, with time, or like because you just lurk. I'm somebody who just lurks now. Like I very rarely say something because of that reason. And
I'm way too obnoxious for that. I just
Yeah.
have to chat because everything actually is about me in every chat I go to. I mean, for me, part of what the appeal of Twitch is, and I'm sure, as Chris mentioned as well, part of the appeal of it is the interactive part.
Yeah.
Like to me, if I didn't want, and I think you're the same way, and I'm wondering if you're this way, Chris. If I just want to watch videos without interaction, I'm watching YouTube. Like it's pretty rare that I will lurk on Twitch sometimes, but I come to Twitch specifically for the interaction. Like I want to see who's in chat and I want to talk to the people that are there. But I can understand what you mean of like
Yeah.
it's got to be difficult when everyone's like, "Oh my God, partner's in the house. Can you read me?"
Oh my God, do you get that a lot? What are the worst? You said already, like a regular, was rude at some point. But what type of trolls do you get?
Very rarely do I actually get trolls. I did in the
Interesting.
very early stages. Like when I first started, I was getting people coming in and going, you fucking suck. This is shit. Your voice sucks. Which to me at the time when I first started singing and playing on Twitch, because I started my Twitch channel as a way to get better at singing and get better at creating music.
Yes.
At that time, I was like, oh, thanks for that. Like, appreciate it. But inside, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
exactly.
Ah! Like, it fucking devastated me. I would get off and I'd stream for 3.5 hours and there would be an entire stream of beautiful comments and there'd be one comment saying that I sucked.
Yep.
And I would think about that comment for 3 hours
Yep.
after stream.
Yep.
Now, I'm just like, you don't like it, buddy. You're like, fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
or I'm like, well, I'm currently doing a live learn of a song that I've never heard before and never
Yeah.
sang. So like,
Yeah.
maybe if you want to hear a song, by all means, request it. And I did one mean thing once. Somebody was really fucking hammering me.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, why don't you just pick a song that you really want and I'll play it for you out of the song list. And they're like, okay. And they came back and requested it. And then my moderator removed it. And then they requested it again and my moderator removed it. And eventually it kept getting moved down. And I was like, oh, I forgot to tell you, if you want a priority sub, you've actually got to donate to get it to get me to play it. And he sat there for 2 hours. He sat there and streamed waiting for his song. And I was like, that's why you don't be fucking rude. You got
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
I love that.
Play my song.
I
Streamer.
love that.
That's
amazing.
hilarious. That is hilarious. So, in terms of what are your plans for the stream going forward? Now, and the other question related to that is obviously DMCA has been a huge issue for a lot of streamers lately. Has that had any impact at all on your stream, or has that encouraged you to do more original stuff and more original songwriting? And, what are your plans looking ahead into 2021 since obviously fuck 2020,
Well, DMC really, the only thing that really affected me was that if I was going to do a live learn, I couldn't play the song on stream for my viewers to hear it. Like I have to listen to it in my own earphones and then create the song. And
Yeah.
which
Right.
takes away a little bit from the, hey, he's doing something cool by live learning.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what the song sounds like. This is Chris's version. Like, you just get to hear Chris's version, which sort of makes it a little bit. Hello.
I like the mask. The mask is a cute mask.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why she's wearing a mask. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, like overall, it just sort of, it hasn't really affected me. But the plans for the stream going forward is I'm going to transition to doing far more original stuff, and like how I've written Alcohol and Cigarettes and the demo and all the studio time and everything. That's going to actually become a little bit more of a frequent thing.
Amazing.
Me and my family, we're currently in the process of building a new home,
Oh wow.
Aw, nice.
man.
Congrats.
and I'm going to have my own studio.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Stepping into the big
So-
time.
Yeah, so the idea will be that I will be setting up a room that's specifically just for streaming and everything, and it's going to be fully sound treated and recording more music in there. And so, yeah, I'll be doing more music from that, and we've got a couple of different plans and courses that we want to do that we haven't completely hashed out yet. But it'll effectively be something along the lines of, we'll write a song, I'll record the demo and everything, and then lock it down until we've got a bit more of a finished track, and then people will be able to vote on whether or not it'll be a single release or part of an album release.
Ha,
And
that's
if
so
it's an album
cool.
That's
release,
amazing.
That's
we'll
super
put it
cool.
to the side. Yeah, until we get a certain amount of songs up, and then we'll release an entire album. But along the way, there'll still be singles being released, on a fairly regular basis. So I'm thinking about maybe making that a monthly occurrence or something like that.
That's cool. Now, since
I have another question.
I have to do this though, because it is that time, so it's going to screw up his camera. I don't care though. I'm going to do it anyway because it's
Overtime. I have an overtime
There
question.
we go. We had to do
Beep-up, beep-up, beep-up.
it. Yes.
Yes. So, have you thought about doing this full time as a musician? And if so, what is, if you want to talk about it, what would be the minimum to happen for you to go, I'm going to do this full time now. Like, I'm going to, not do analytics anymore.
He's probably got a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
He is in
Yeah.
finance. He's got a
He
spreadsheet
has a
somewhere.
spreadsheet where this, like, when I reach this, I'm
Yes.
going full time.
Yes.
Yeah. I think, obviously I've been asked the question 100 times, and like a lot of my friends and family are like, yo, you'll be able to just go like full-time music
Yeah.
soon. I'm like, no. And it's not because I don't want to. It's, I have 3 kids to feed.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't really afford to, like, put it this way. If I was a full-time musician, I wouldn't have been able to build a house. I
Yeah,
wouldn't have been able
exactly.
to do
Right.
all these other things. Like, I would be struggling to
Yeah.
get by, really, especially this year, like far out.
Yeah, exactly.
Story of my life.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Twitch and music in general would need to, like, for instance, I'd have to probably start like something like I'd need like 2,000 subs
Yeah.
essentially just to meet what I'm currently doing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is just like, when you think about it as a streamer, you're like, holy shit, that's a lot of subs.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah, exactly.
And-
It is, yeah.
And I think that's mainly because obviously Twitch take 50% of that.
Right.
exactly.
If they took a smaller cut, that would make a massive difference. But yeah, I would need, and it's not all reliable. That's not just 2,000 subs. That would have to be 2,000 paid subs from individuals, not
Every
gifted.
month.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's just not reliable enough. Like I could right now, I could quit my job and do 2 gigs a week, like live gigs, and do Twitch, and I'll probably still I'll be able to make it by.
Yeah.
But then I'd never be able to take a day off. I'd never be able to,
Spend time with family.
relax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's sort of, it would change my complete social life and everything. Where at the moment I go to work, I get up, go to work 9 to 5, come home. I still get to see my kids at night. I can play music when they're in bed in my own home. I don't have to go out to pubs, and like I did a gig 2 weeks ago and I was out till 3 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I started at 10, I didn't finish until 1, and then by the time I packed down and everything like that, like I didn't get home till 3 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
And I had to get up at 6 o'clock the next morning to do something with my son. So it was like,
Right.
family time is very important to me, and making sure that they, like I said before, I had a pretty crappy childhood. My kids are not going to have that. They're going to have they're not going to have everything, but they're going to be not wanting. If that makes
That's right.
sense.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That
Now,
makes sense.
I did want to ask, Sarah jumped in first. I did want to ask a related question to what you were talking about before. Since you mentioned that you're in the process of building a studio, music studio in the new house, is that causing any tension or paralysis for you? Because once those options started to get in there of what you could put in it and what you could be doing and how you're thinking about arranging it, or has it been a pretty easy process for you? You're going to keep it simple, or are you going to be looking like, okay, Mr. Greggles has bullet time, Scene of Action has his custom studio, like what's going to happen in the C. Miller
How can
custom
I top
studio?
all of that?
Yes, are
can
you
I
having
be
any
more
of that?
epic?
Because to me, I know for me, I would be paralyzed if I'm
Same.
like, I could build a custom studio. I need
yes.
80 cameras.
Same. I would be like, I'm gonna get the best shit. I'm gonna be the
Yes.
new Scene of Action of
Yes.
Twitch, bitches.
Yes, exactly.
And then I would do just chatting, just like I'm doing now. It's just one camera.
Yes.
But I have 6 cameras set up with, like, I don't know, a stage and everything. But I'm just sitting there in front of the computer with one
Bazzy.
camera.
Okay, Bazzy, I love this. I need holograms. Okay, that
Yes.
would be super sweet for a music stream, though, especially since he does live looping where he could do
Yeah.
the loop, but then it records the video and puts a hologram of him
Puts a
playing that
hologram?
part.
Yes.
How sweet
Oh
would
my
that be?
God. Chris, you need to do that.
You need holograms.
What is your
This is-
plan, though? How crazy are you? Are there going to be holograms? This is what we all need to know.
All I can think of right now is like, I'm just thinking about it. I was like, holy crap, I could MIDI map my launchpad, press the button, and then it could just loop back me playing that video and put it in the top left corner.
sure.
And when I press that one. It
Yes.
records
For
that,
sure.
holy shit, that could be some cool shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question, no, I'm not really paralyzed by it. Like I'm pretty, it's going to be a relatively simple setup, but most of the I'm going to have a few cameras. We've got a couple of things in the works at the moment that hopefully come off, but
Sure.
basically it's going to be just, I'm going to set up, like I said, I want to set it up for more recording style stuff.
Sure.
So I'm still going to have a very similar setup to this, but in one corner, I'm actually going to set up a specific vocal booth for when I'm actually recording.
Yes.
And I'm going to put a screen and stuff in there so I can still chat. People can see me in the booth. I'll set up I've got some instrument mics behind me as well. I'll set them up to be able to record things like guitar and like different elements as well. So I'm going to set individual up that will be stationary, that will stay in those places so that when I'm recording, that's what they're used for. But yeah, a few different camera angles and stuff, but nothing too crazy. But us as streamers, we know what it's like. Eventually I'm going to look at the room and be like, oh, I could so put
This
that
room
there. And then next
sucks,
week be
man.
like,
I built this
I'm
studio
so
and I
gonna
need
put
this. Yeah.
Like I'm lucky enough to have people that like understand what I'm trying to achieve. I want to make it fun and exciting and everything like that, but I don't want to make it too overboard and over the top. I'm not saying that Mr. Greggles or Sane of Action, like you look at their streams and they're amazing, but the amount of planning and building and everything that goes into that is not a simple task. Like Mr. Greggles, I think, has been building his recent studio now for like 6 months.
Yeah,
and
It's, the
they're
same, it's actually the same for Scene of Action. Actually, for those of you who've never seen Scene of Action or you like Scene of Action, he's actually back tonight in the new studio, and it's taken him about 8 months since he's been back.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to
for people
see
who
that.
want to watch that's on tonight.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. But yeah, it's even for me, like I'm dumpster Scene of Action, but it's
but
exactly
he does
what
it
you
with
described.
MIDI, what you said.
Oh, all that stuff. So for
Yeah.
me, it's like everything is automated, and in general, it takes about 3 to 4 hours a song for every song I want to add to the set, and I don't really do live learns or anything.
That's crazy
like that,
to me.
so-
I just put on a.
Yeah, you just play the track
in terms
and-
of music, I'm the simpler.
I'm simple.
The most easy one out of all of us 3 because I literally just make
She's
a
the
track.
most easy one
I make
out
a
of us
track,
3.
a backing track, and then on stream I just double click it and play over it. That's it, or sing over it. It's super easy, no looping. I mean, sometimes I do loops, but how many loops can you do with a fucking saxophone?
I don't know. I feel like that should be your goal. Didn't Mary Amber just write an entire symphony out of ocarinas or whatever? Yeah. What?
Absolutely.
You can't compete.
I couldn't do
what,
that.
you can't
but
compete with
how
Mary Amber?
How fucking boring is that for people to watch? For me to do like a loop for 10 minutes and it's like, oh, now it's done, and it's a 10-minute fucking song.
I don't know. That Mary Amber did a whole symphony out of ocarinas and spent weeks recording it. So
Weeks, yeah.
you never know. You never
Everybody
know.
wants to watch that.
No, but that's. Go ahead. Sorry.
They got so many people as well involved in that, like full theater production, singing, whole lot. Like,
Yes.
really cool. You should absolutely check it out.
Oh, for sure. So, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate having you so much. And sorry about the tech stuff at the beginning and having to do the switcheroo at the last minute, but everything went smooth as a result of it, and we appreciate that. If you guys haven't checked out the new release, I'm going to post that link in the chat again right here. Please go save the release. It's very important to do that and to support the musicians that are here, especially original music. I find that although I think DMCA, one of the things that's been interesting about it is it's helped increase the amount of streamers who are producing and creating original music, which is awesome. But there are a lot of, in comparison to people who treat it more like busking or that kind of thing, the original music community is still pretty small on Twitch. It's why the bulletin board was such an important element of the show to me. Please support streamer releases. Go check it out. Save the links. Give the subscribes and the thumbs up button. Give the subscribes and the thumbs up on the YouTube and the Spotify. Add it to your playlist. Add it to all that stuff.
Don't forget to ring the bell.
Don't forget to ring the bell. Get to follow on the Instagrams. But seriously, go check out Alcohol and Cigarettes. You saw the video here. Go if you want to watch it again. That is available on musicexposed.show.
Chris,
anything else you want to share?
Yeah, is there anything you want to tell people as your
No,
last?
stick it in your playlist.
That's
Put it in
right.
all your playlists. Do that, and that's very important.
Yeah, it
for-
makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and that's one thing that sort of a lot of people don't really understand. If you like a person's song, an original piece of music that they've done, it costs nothing to share it and give it a like or chuck it in your playlist. And it's probably one of the biggest ways you can support an artist by trying to increase their chances in the algorithm. So please, by all means, share it, like it, do whatever you can with it.
Yeah.
I will do
and
that
also,
for sure.
I have a last question though. Do you do the finger fucking?
How much, Chris? How much?
Who doesn't?
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here,
I love
Chris.
that.
We appreciate
Thank you
you
so much for being here. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for jumping up
again,
early.
congrats on the release.
Yes, amazing job. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. What a nice guy.
What a nice guy. And he has a glorious beard.
He does have a glorious beard. I appreciate that very much.
Today marks the day. Today marks the day
What?
of the
day?
last episode of this year.
Oh my God, 3D Code Warrior, thank you so much for that tip of 20 euro. We appreciate you.
Another
Thank you.
great show. Thank you.
We appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you so much for the 20 euros.
Thank you. We did mention that there will be some changes in the new year for Music Exposed. Next week we are doing a holiday special, as you were starting to talk about. So we're gonna bring on some friends next week. We're gonna do a little bit of a different show.
Yeah, it's gonna be just recapping.
Yeah.
We should hanging out.
We should watch the compilations that we put together so far. Since we've never done that on stream.
Yeah, and I haven't
we have a new
uploaded
one?
the last one.
I have one that you put
one-
together too. So yeah.
and I have one that I haven't uploaded.
But
we're
what we
just
want-
gonna hang out with some friends.
Since some of you are here, listen, here's been the deal. Obviously, Sarah and I are together, and we're together in person.
Forever.
Hi, we're together. I hope forever. I hope that. Thanks for your sweaty hand in my face. I
No
appreciate
problem.
that. No, but seriously, we've been together. Although it feels like it's been a long time, we've actually only been together in person 2 weeks at this point. But it's made things, we've been still keeping up our normal streaming schedule, and it's been very difficult and stressful to do. So we need a little help. And actually, Northbound Matt is a helper guy, and some of you are here, are streamers. Here's what we need. We want some of you we've invited to be live on the stream with us during next week's stream to just have it be more casual, have some people come back that we haven't been able to have before. But what we will also need help with is gathering some material from anybody that's been on the show this year that wants to include either a holiday message or they want to record a little thing for us to play on the show. Yes, Bazzy, please beatbox on our show for 15 seconds. But we're going to start reaching out to people today. But if someone wants to help us and take the lead on helping to organize that, that would be massively, massively helpful for us to put that together and to help us with that. We've already
full of work. We're so filled up. We're filled up with work.
Yes, we actually do work crazy amounts. Like we talked about
We
that
do.
yesterday. We were
Yeah.
talking about that yesterday.
I'm gonna be honest. When Chris talked about him, he's not going full time because he would be struggling and he would be working all the time and wouldn't have time for his family.
That'd be
I
us.
feel that on a very personal level. You guys have no idea. I was like,
Just you, I feel the same thing, and
Yeah.
we've been together for 2
Yeah.
weeks, and I don't complain about it. Like I'm not complaining
yeah,
about
I don't
the time.
complain about.
But
I mean, you don't complain about working too much as a workaholic. That's not what
that's
you
true.
do.
But both of us talked about it last night that we realized like we haven't spent that much time
Yeah.
together because
Let's-
either you're streaming or I'm streaming or people are working.
I will
and it's
start
like-
a job at a Starbucks or something, just
Okay,
so I can
great.
have time, and I have frappuccinos all the time.
Yeah,
That's the
and
great part.
plus we're working on, as we mentioned with our personal difficulties, we're working now on me probably having to go to Germany, and that
Yeah.
was unexpected, and so it's just, yeah, it's been
Probably
a lot.
gonna have another fundraiser for stuff like that,
Yeah, it's like
And
the
also
worst
on
time.
this-
It's the worst time of year
Yeah.
for that.
And
but-
on this channel, what we still have to do is like the Daisy Do cosplay, a few cosplays, and a few.
well, the
things like
cosplays,
that.
the cosplays we can do back in Germany, but the there's some things like the fast
The
food
fast
thing.
food eating. And
We're gonna
stuff
go
like
through
that.
it and determine what we have to do before Sarah has to go. And we'll do those streams over the holidays. We have the holiday special. We have the holiday special next week, which we'll be bringing some friends back. We'll be talking to some people. We'll be doing some things like that. And then again, we need some help gathering some materials for people that want to do that. I'll be reaching out as well.
Yeah.
But if anyone wants to volunteer to help with that, please send me a Discord message or a DM on Twitter. If anybody can help a little
we
with
will
that,
just
I would
have
be.
a little podcast.
Yeah, so
week.
and
We'll
we'll
be
show
chill,
the
you know.
compilations and we'll go through the year and that kind of thing. Help with herding the cats.
Yeah.
Help with getting videos or getting messages from people that have been on the show already. We've had 28 guests as of today.
28.
We've
wow.
had 28 guests.
That's crazy.
And we also know that we'll have some people involved, like the Village Ruse, and BZ will be involved, and Northbound Mount. We've asked for them. Oh, Shannon Nina, right at the end.
Nina, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that raid. We
Nina,
appreciate
for that
you.
raid. I really appreciate
Did
you.
Steve?
Thank you.
Steve did not come on this year, but he was on the Music Exposed Festival. He had to cancel his appearance on the show because he was having technical problems.
Yeah, we had a few people that had to cancel, unfortunately.
Like Draymond will be
Wax,
next year.
Wayne,
Wax had to cancel.
He had to cancel.
It's like this month. The month of November was the most chaotic month of Music
Yes.
Exposed ever. We appreciate that raid so much, though, guys.
Thank you so much, Nina.
Unfortunately,
Thank
got
you.
here right at the end of the show
Yes.
for C. Miller.
Oh, you were doing music today. Awesome.
That's amazing.
I hope you're doing good. Lots of love to you.
Thank you
girl.
guys so much for dropping in.
Please
And
go follow
so,
Shannon Nina, please.
as I said, next week we'll be doing a holiday special. Then there will be 2 weeks off of Music Exposed, and we kick off the new year with a guest I've been waiting for since we started the show, Jay Dublé. So Jay Dublé
Yeah.
kicks off 2021 for us. I am super stoked to have him on the show. Jay Dublé might be the best kept secret on Twitch. I know some people have given me that title, but Jay Dublé,
Oh, he is.
he is ridiculously
He is ridiculous, but
yeah.
he needs to get his shit together. He needs to, Jay Dublé. I don't know if you're ever watching this, but you need to get your shit together because you have an amazing,
He's seen of action. He's seen of action,
incredible
yeah.
stream. And when I went into a stream the first time, I was mind blown. I was like, "This is scene of action level," and he doesn't even have a donation button.
He fixed that. He
I
fixed
wanted,
that.
yeah, he did fix that, but I wanted to donate so badly. I was like, this is amazing. I need to donate, and and
Jay
he
Dublé's
didn't have
great.
a donation link, or button, and it was like, what the fuck, dude? I was
No,
really
I've known
mad.
Jay Dublé is one of the first streamers that I met when I started streaming, and
He's
was
amazing.
He was streaming by himself. He has a great story. We'll talk about it. He was streaming by himself because he plays music with his brother, and his brother unfortunately was going through cancer treatment and was not able to perform. And so it's only recently that Darth Radius has come back and plays on Jay Dublé's stream. And Jay Dublé has probably my favorite song from a Twitch streamer, Winter's Epitaph by his band Dusk's Embrace. I've actually been talking. He really wants me to cover it at that point, so I definitely want to do that. But yeah, so we'll be back next week. Then we'll be taking a 2-week break, and then we come back with Jay Dublé. in the new year.
At some point, Franklin will be on to.
No, he's in there. It's the 3rd week of January. I just
Okay.
think he's not on the site yet.
Oh, okay.
He was one that came in
Yeah.
while you were in Mexico.
Calvin Thomas too.
Calvin
right?
Thomas.
Oh, Calvin Thomas has
so
an
Jay
amazing
Dublé,
song that I really love.
Draymond, Calvin Thomas, and B Franklin are in January.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna start changing the schedule after that.
Yeah, we're gonna start because we want to do other stuff. We want to do other shows, and also like our lives are changing, obviously, by being together now and stuff. My life is changing. Our lives in general are changing, so things need to, will be changing a little bit according to that. But obviously, we want to do.
We'll be changing
a
a
show
lot
like
according
this.
to that. Our lives will be changing a lot according to what we're doing.
Thank you,
because
Nina.
I mean, I knew that for you transitioning over here, it wouldn't be that hard because I have the setup and all that stuff. It's going to be much harder for me to stream in Germany. So I'm going to have to figure all that out. No idea how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I've already started thinking about it. It'll probably be a different kind of stream while I'm in Germany.
Yeah.
Or I'll just design something new and start doing it that way.
You'll be viral all of a
No,
sudden.
it'll take me another
Super Mario
fucking
Maker.
500 hours.
Super Mario Maker streamer.
I am a
has
Super Mario Maker streamer. I
3,000 viewers on average now.
I'll play Super Mario. I've played Super Mario Maker on stream with
you'll
2
be
viewers.
the
I have 2 viewers.
It'll be the new Rio.
You're right. Silence will have a meltdown being in Sarah's mess, probably.
Yes.
No, it's just my stream is. It is hard to describe, and even Sarah has had to learn my setup while she's here. It is hard to describe just how much goes into my stream.
Yeah.
It is an fucking insane amount of work that goes into my stream.
Have a good eat. Have a good eat.
Ooh, I want
Have
sauerkraut.
good foods. Have good foods, Nina. Lots of
Thank
love.
you, Shanna. We appreciate that
Please,
so
everybody
much.
go follow Shanna Nina. She's awesome.
And so, yeah, we will be back next week for the holiday special. Again, if anyone wants to help us organize a little bit for that, please send
and
me a
any
DM.
streamers who have been on the show, please message us if
Yes.
you're interested. It's just basically next Saturday at the same time.
Yep.
I'll be posting it on our secret Discord.
It's not
too.
secret,
It's a
but
secret Discord.
I like
We
all
all
that.
share nudes on that Discord
That's true.
with each other. We're like, hey, this is me.
I share
naked.
my nudes on my OnlyFarmers. Duh, that's where they all
Yeah,
are.
please go.
OnlyFarmers.com/silence noise.
Yes, please go subscribe. And I'm going to create one at some point too. Your face right now.